Welcome to the UCSB EAP presentation for 2021-2022 Study Abroad programs in Japan and Korea. During this session, you will learn about the study abroad opportunities available to you in these countries. My name is Megan Pancraft, and I am the Regional Advisor for Japan and Korea in the UCSB EAP office. I will begin with the programs in Korea. Both of our partner universities in Korea are located in the South Korean capital city of Seoul. Programs at Yonsei University are very popular with UCAP students. Seoul National University, or SNU, is a new program. Pictured here is a side-by-side comparison of both universities' campuses. SNU's campus is hilly and large and near the mountains. Yonsei University is located in a very lively college neighborhood full of restaurants and shops. The convenient public transportation system allows students to get to the city center easily from either campus. Yonsei University is home to the UCEAP's Korea Yonsei Study Center, which provides a lot of hands-on support and plans fun activities and excursions. There is not a UCEAP Study Center at SNU, but there is a point person at the International Affairs Office. Activities there are available through student clubs. Let's explore the Seoul National University program closer. So applicants must meet and maintain a cumulative 2.85 GPA to be eligible for this program. The program is open to sophomores, juniors, and seniors. Do note that the class standing requirements for programs in Korea and Japan are based on the number of units completed by departure, not necessarily by the year you are. The fall semester programs in Korea will begin earlier in the summer, but end in time for you to be back for winter quarter at UCSB. If you participate in a spring program in Korea, you will miss both winter and spring quarters at UCSB. SNU is Korea's #1 public university located in the southern part of Seoul. At SNU, you can take classes alongside local and international students in a wide range of disciplines. The majority of courses are taught in Korean, but each college and department offers a number of courses taught in English every year. Of particular note are the highly ranked departments of life sciences, computer science, engineering, math, and physics. Business and computer science are popular fields, so it can be difficult to get into these departments. Korean language study is not available for UCEAP students on this program. For housing, students can live in on-campus dorms or set up a homestay. Unfortunately, internships are not possible on this program. This program is impacted. I only have 2 spaces for fall 2021 and 2 spaces for spring 2022. That is why you may notice that the fall application deadline is quite early. If you were to apply and not be selected, you would have plenty of time to apply for another program with a later deadline, such as Yonsei University. So next, we will cover the programs offered at Yonsei University. Yonsei University is among the 3 most prestigious schools in South Korea. First, we have the Seoul Summer Program. Applicants must meet and maintain a cumulative 2.0 GPA to be eligible. UCEAP students participate in the 6-week program. The 4-week program is not an option. Students enroll in 2 or 3 courses from a list of around 100 courses taught in English in many subjects, including arts and humanities, Korean and East Asian studies, business and economics, social sciences, and science and technology. Korean language study is also available. The Yonsei International Summer School has a summer internship program that offers corporate and research internships for academic credit. Internships in a variety of fields such as informational technology, marketing, business, public relations, and more may be possible. Opportunities are limited and highly competitive. Nearly all internships require you to be fluent in Korean, but the language expectation does vary by placement. If you participate in an internship, you may enroll in only 1 additional course. To arrange an internship, you must apply directly to the internship program through Yonsei International Summer School. Students have the option of 2 on-campus housing choices at Yonsei University: the International House, or iHouse, and the SK Global House. Students can also choose to arrange their own off-campus accommodation. Please note that if you apply for on-campus housing, the housing payment is due before arrival and before financial aid is dispersed. Start saving and plan accordingly. Next up, I will review the fall, spring, and year options at Yonsei University. Applicants must meet and maintain a cumulative 2.85 GPA to be eligible for this program. If your GPA is slightly below the requirement at the time of application, please do reach out to me. Yonsei University offers courses taught in English in business, economics, computer science, engineering, history, communications, Korean art history, literature, philosophy, political science, and sociology. Particularly strong courses are available in Asian studies and Korean language and literature, as well as unique courses related to North Korea. There are very few, if any, English taught courses in the biological or physical sciences. If you are fluent in Korean, you may be able to enroll in Yonsei University courses taught in Korean with approval of the instructor. There are different types of classes available. So there's regular university coursework, Underwood International College coursework if you get instructor approval. These classes are typically meant for degree-seeking international students, but UCAP students have been able to take some in the past. And also Office of International Affairs, or IEE courses designed specifically for exchange students. You can find these courses under Study Abroad courses in the Yonsei course catalog. When searching for courses, please note that fall semester is considered second semester and spring semester is considered first semester. That goes for SNU as well. Korean language study is available on this program. The Study Center also arranges activities to help improve students' language skills, such as a Korean language speaking club and a language exchange buddy program. Internships are possible on this program. Volunteer opportunities are also available. Past students have volunteered at a children's hospital or taught English to North Korean refugees. Housing options are the same as the Seoul Summer Program, the On-Campus iHouse or SK Global House, or making your own off-campus arrangements. Again, please note that if you apply for university housing, the housing payment is due before the program begins, before financial aid is dispersed. Be sure to budget accordingly. You can find the UCAP Korea Yonsei Study Center on Instagram at UCEAP_Korea. You can check out and read about Gaucho's experiences studying abroad in Korea on our UCSB EAP blog. There are quite a few from both the summer program and Yonsei University program. Now let's hear from Brandon, who participated in the Seoul Summer and Yonsei University year-long programs.
Hi, my name is Brandon. I'm a fourth-year global studies major, and I studied abroad at Yonsei University at Korea. Studying abroad in Korea, one difference was that the students were obviously Korean in my classroom. So even though we all spoke English together, definitely the cultural vibe was different. Students are a little bit more reserved, but they're also a lot easier to get close to. So in terms of making friends, it was kind of a new dynamic, but nonetheless still fun. I would describe Seoul as being kind of the opposite of Santa Barbara, whereas Santa Barbara is it's a very nice environment, very nice. There's a lot of trees, a lot of grass, beaches, but there isn't a whole lot to do in the city. In Seoul, it's quite the opposite. It's a concrete jungle, but it's so fast-paced. There's a million things to do. There's never a dull moment. You can go from dinner to karaoke, and the fun never ends, basically. There were 2 school festivals throughout the year. The first one is called Yeonggojjeon, which is like a very big sporting event. It's Yonsei University versus Korea University. They basically go at it at a sporting event with like hockey, football, like soccer, and then baseball, and then something else. And then in the spring, we have an event called Akaraka, which is like a K-pop concert which comes to our school. So imagine, like your favorite artist coming to your school, performing for you. and ticket cost is like very cheap as well. While I was at Yonsei University, I took part in 2 clubs. One was a Catholic club and one was a martial arts club. So both of those clubs, we had fun after parties. We spent a lot of time together. Sometimes we would just like kind of chill in our club rooms, which is kind of a unique thing in Korean culture. So we just had a lot of fun, got to know each other, and it definitely helped me improve my language as well. One advice I would give to people who want to go to Korea for study abroad or really go anywhere is just be adventurous. Wherever you go, it's going to be a new environment. Things won't make sense at first, but even if you don't speak the language, even if you don't really know how to get around, I would just say just go for it. Make some friends who live there, and just try something new. Try something that you wouldn't normally do. Because the point of being abroad is to get out of your comfort zone and essentially learn something.
If you are of Korean nationality, if one or more of your parents were born in Korea, there are important considerations for this program. You will be treated as a Korean citizen by the Korean consulate and will need to contact them regarding obtaining the proper visa to enter Korea. If you are male, you can be held to South Korea's military service requirement. Please do contact the consulate for more information. We're now going to shift to our programs in Japan. UCAP offers many programs across multiple cities in Japan. I'll begin with the immersion programs. First up is the spring program at Hitotsubashi University, located in suburban Tokyo. Hitotsubashi is the only university in Japan to specialize exclusively in the humanities and social sciences. Applicants must meet and maintain a cumulative 2.85 GPA to be eligible for this program. Remember, this is at the time of application and maintained through departure. GPA requirements for our programs in Japan are very strict. There is no language requirement for this program, but while abroad, Japanese language study is required unless you are fluent. This program takes place from early April to late July. Unlike the spring programs in Korea, if you participate in a spring program in Japan, you will only miss spring quarter at UCSB. But do note that the spring and year-long programs extend later into the summer. Students on this program enroll in 6 to 8 courses for a minimum of 21 total units. This may sound like a lot of classes, but remember, Hitotsubashi is on a semester system, and some classes at Japanese universities tend to meet less often during the week. Because of this, some courses may be worth less than 4 UC units. There may be classes worth only 2 UC units or 3 UC units. Please remember this when consulting your academic advisors. You may need to discuss the possibility of a 3-unit course counting towards a 4-unit UCSB requirement, or the possibility of combining 2 2-unit classes to fulfill a UCSB requirement. Hitotsubashi University offers coursework taught in Japanese and English in 4 faculties open to UCAP students: Commerce and Management, Economics, Law, and Social Sciences. Particularly strong courses taught in English are available in the fields of business, economics, and international studies. Undergraduate students live in the International Village, and graduate students live in the International House. The International Village is about a 30-minute subway or bike ride from campus. Internships are possible on all immersion programs in Japan, but students must secure their own placements. Students have the option of interning for 3 to 6 academic units per term for an average of about 8 to 12 hours per week, and the internship can replace a class. Next up, we have the International Christian University, or ICU. ICU is also located in a suburb of Tokyo. ICU is like a small liberal arts college with a bilingual campus. It is home to the UCAP Japan Study Center, with support staff to help students during their stay in Japan. Applicants must meet and maintain a cumulative 3.0 UC GPA to be eligible for this program. There is no language prerequisite, but if you plan to take a language class, you must know the hiragana alphabet. Language study is optional and offered at beginning to advanced levels with intensive and less intensive options. Students enroll in 2 to 7 courses for a minimum of 15 total units per term. ICU is on a trimester system. ICU coursework taught in English is available in the humanities and social sciences. Strong fields include Japanese literature, linguistics, history, art history, and international relations. Of special note are Japanese area studies with courses in art history, cultural studies, history, politics, and society. If you are a native or near native Japanese speaker, you have the option to enroll in courses taught in Japanese, available in most UC fields, including sciences. Students live in university-arranged dorms or can arrange their own off-campus accommodation. I do not have a limited number of spaces for the fall and year option, but the spring ICU program is impacted with only 8 spaces available. So let's hear from Hope about her classes, housing, and life at ICU. Hope?
Hi guys, can you all hear me? You good? So yeah, I guess I'll start with my classes. So I took classes in English for the most part. I'm a linguistics major. I took like a pragmatics course, I took an art history course, I took a Japanese language course. It kind of got disrupted because of COVID, but I was supposed to take like the whole track. Then the courses were all in English and they were very manageable. I lived on campus in the dorms with a bunch of Japanese students, so I had a really amazing experience. My Japanese improved really rapidly, and because I lived on campus, commuting wasn't an issue. The course load was very manageable, like I said. Everything was in English. As long as you keep up with it, you're fine. I will say though that the thing is, there were some classes that lasted for like 4 hours and all the way to like 7:30. But that's only because it meets like once or twice a week, so they cram it all into one session. So that's just a heads up. But again, the girls in the dorm gave me a lot of advice, and we took classes together, and I met people from all over the world, US, UK, various states. And yeah, I absolutely loved it. I wish I got to stay longer, so I really want all of you to go. It was the time of my life. And I feel really old now, because unfortunately I'm past, I'm a returnee. But anyway, so again, the dorm was really, really cheap. It was one of the older dorms, and it was kind of small, and there wasn't AC in the room, but we had fans, and there was AC downstairs. So you could manage. I survived. I loved just the atmosphere of the dorm. All the girls were so nice and so sweet. And they were just really friendly towards you, and some of them try their best to communicate with you in English, and then I try my best to communicate in Japanese. And it was just really wholesome, everybody was trying their best, and everyone was so friendly. I will say in Japan it is more about like a conformative culture. So what that means is, basically everybody values, other people's, well-being and opinion, kind of more than almost your individual, opinion. So basically, it was all about us working together and cooperating with each other. And so one of the things we had was dorm meetings, and this was mandatory months. We all had chores that we did to help out, and that's kind of the culture that I was kind of used to just because of my upbringing. Well, I do have some friends that struggle with that, so that's just a heads up. I got really lucky, and I'll say this again, because again, quarter system, ICU, SB quarter system, so it all lined up really well. So when I got kicked out because of COVID, I was able to come back and still have time to go to my classes that spring. So I was really, really fortunate. Again, the Japan Study Center was on campus, so I had all the help I needed. When I got Bell's palsy, I needed to go to the hospital, and when there was typhoon, earthquake, all this, the study center was so helpful, so friendly, and I had all the support I needed. Also, Japanese health insurance is really good, really cheap, so I was set. I loved living in Japan so much because I had so much freedom. I could literally go anywhere I wanted, and I felt so safe because Japanese nightlife was just so, it just was so fun. There was no fear, or I felt like I was safe, even though I was a woman walking around alone, sometimes at night or with my friends. We would go to karaoke, we would go eat, we'd go to movies, we'd drink, whatever. I felt just so comfortable, and it was just amazing. So I did not personally encounter a language barrier in Tokyo. Part is because I took many Japanese courses since I was a freshman. Second of all, in Tokyo, they're very accommodating to English speakers. Like there's English kiosks, English menus, like English translations of just about everything, pretty much. Or you can like easily translate it with your phone, is what I mean. So for me, that wasn't really an issue. I would totally recommend this program. It was everything I could have wanted. And I was also a Freeman intern. So I had an internship along the side that I did as well. I'll talk to you guys about that later. And just to talk about the photos here. So ICU has these beautiful sakura trees that go along the main road. It was beautiful. I'm so happy I got to see them in March before I had to leave. In the main photos, you can see my dorm room. I decorated with all my stuff, and my roommate was just right there. It's a little small room, but it comes with a fridge, a fan, whatever you need. They even have like a bedding rental system, so you don't have to buy your own bedding and bring it back and forth. And the bathrooms are shared and the showers are communal. That's something you guys might have to get used to. I personally just got over it really quick. It is a little awkward, a little embarrassing, but you get over it. And I trust me, nobody is gonna judge you, it's totally fine. The middle picture is from my birthday. I spent my 21st birthday in Japan before COVID hit, thank God. And it was really cute because in the dorm, everybody celebrates their birthdays together. There's like a special thing where they knock on your door and they surprise you. Everybody gives you these little gifts. And my roommate made me a cake, and I did the same when it was her birthday. And it was so sweet and so fun. And so, yeah, I couldn't recommend it enough. I really couldn't. Thank you, Hope.
UCSB EAP has launched a podcast called Catch Me Abroad. Episode 2 features Lucas, who participated in the Japanese in Tokyo summer program, which we'll cover later in the presentation, and the year-long program at ICU. He also interned abroad. I recommend giving it a listen when you have the time. The conversation with Lucas is currently on our YouTube channel, but we do hope to add it to other podcast-friendly mediums soon. The next immersion I will discuss is the year-long program at Keio University. Keio University, located in the middle of downtown Tokyo, is the oldest institution of higher education in Japan. Applicants must meet and maintain a cumulative 2.85 UC GPA to be eligible for this program. There is no language prerequisite, but language study is required each semester unless you're fluent in taking courses in Japanese. Students enroll in 7 to 8 courses for a minimum of 21 units. Students choose between 2 tracks, the Keio International Program, KIP for short, or the Short-Term International Student in Faculty of Economics. KIP offers courses taught in English primarily in the humanities and social sciences, with a focus on Japan and Asia. The Short-Term International Student in Faculty of Economics is a unique opportunity for UCAP students majoring in economics to focus on coursework in economics. Students on this program live in an off-campus dorm or can arrange their own housing. The commute from the dorm to campus can be around 60 minutes. This may sound long, especially as a gaucho, where you can easily walk, bike, or skateboard to class within minutes, but it's pretty typical for a Japanese local. You can use your commute time to do schoolwork, catch up on social media, read, or rest. Check out our UCSB EAP blog to read about Gaucho's experiences studying at Keio University. The last immersion program in Japan is the year-long program at Waseda University. Waseda University is located in central Tokyo. International students make up nearly 1/3 of Waseda's student body. Applicants must meet and maintain a cumulative UC GPA of 3.0 to be eligible for this program. Students must have at least 3 quarters or 1 year of Japanese under their belts to be eligible. Language study is required each semester. English taught courses are available in Japanese studies, Asian studies, political science, journalism, history, art history, education, and more. Regular university coursework taught in Japanese is not open to UCAP students. Students enroll in 6 to 8 courses for a minimum of 21 units. Students choose to take their classes in one of 2 schools, the School of International Liberal Studies or the School of Political Science and Economics. Students can choose to live in off-campus dorms, with a homestay family, or arrange their own accommodations. The commute from the dorms is about a 10-minute walk to campus. Let's hear from Percy, who studied abroad for the year at Waseda University.
My name is Percy Giroux. I'm a global studies major, and I studied abroad in Japan at Waseda University for 1 year. So I took a few different types of classes. I took a lot of cultural classes for my major. I also took a few business classes because I was interested in how business was done in Japan versus business done in America. Classes comparable to UCSB, they were a little bit longer, but they were a lot more interactive, and the professors were very nice. I got a lot of credit in my major for my higher division classes as well as for my language. The housing was very particular. We lived in a 4-floor building with 3 floors being Japanese students and then the top floor being international students. I had my own separate room, and I shared a bathroom and a kitchen with other students. But it was great. Became like a very close-knit family. There's a lot of pictures of us like doing Thanksgiving and Halloween together, and so that was a lot of fun. I feel like, in my opinion, the student life here at UCSB is more pertaining to, like, I guess, partying or maybe like just kind of chilling in your house. While students like in Japan had a lot of us going out and going to different places and like just talking about our days. And so it was a lot more social. So I did a couple of different trips during the winter break. I went to Kyoto and Osaka. I got to celebrate the New Year's in Kyoto, and that was a lot of fun. I went with 2 of my international friends, and so we got to see all the like popular type of attractions throughout Kyoto, Osaka, like the Golden Castle and like the bamboo tree forest. During the spring vacation, I also did a over 300-400 mile bike ride going north of Tokyo and then coming back. I also joined the Barbell Club, and I made a lot of friends through that as well. And because I was trying to learn Japanese as fast as possible, I got a language partner, and I befriended my language partner too. You should definitely get yourself a language partner. It becomes easy, especially if you live in the dorms, to not practice Japanese because it's around you all the time, and sometimes you might get a little bit tired. But I think that's the best opportunity for you to push hard and use as much Japanese as possible. So get a language partner, make a lot of Japanese friends, don't be shy, as well as take the time to not only be in the cities, but to also like travel outside the cities, like be able to look at some festivals being done by like communities and make a lot of friends outside of there as well. My favorite part about studying abroad is the fact that I got immersed in the culture, and that was like one of my main goals, and that I was able to practice Japanese as much as I possibly wanted, and as well as the fact that I have like a whole bunch of international friends now that I could talk to and hear about what's going on in their lives and have them like come visit me where I could go visit them. Students should study abroad because it's a very good experience for your college years. On top of that, it looks very good on a resume, and it does change your perspective. You might have it at the time right now, not much of a perspective. You don't really know much about what's going on in the world. And so by going abroad, not only do you learn about the culture and the policies and political things that are going on in that country, but you also learn about other countries as well. I had a friend from Turkey, and I learned a lot about what was going on in Turkey due to that fact.
addition to immersion programs, Japan offers the themed program Global Studies Japan at Meiji Gakuin University's Yokohama campus. Applicants must meet and maintain a cumulative 3.0 GPA to be eligible for this program. There is no language prerequisite, and language study is optional. This program features courses in global studies, history, international relations, political science, Asian studies, and other topics, all taught in English. Students enroll in 4 to 7 courses for a minimum of 21 units. Each semester, approximately 10 to 17 courses are offered through the Faculty of International Studies to choose from. Students live in an off-campus dorm. The commute is a 25 to 30-minute walk or bus ride to campus. Meiji Gakuin University offers teaching internships for academic credit. Students intern as a TA in one of the English taught classes for local students. The internship can be taken as one of their courses. Additional information is provided after arrival. The fall program is impacted. I only have 2 spaces. However, I do not have a limited number of spaces for spring. You can read about Gaucho's experiences in this program on our UCSB EAP blog. Now let's switch gears to the research program offerings in Japan. First, we have the Engineering and Science program at Tohoku University in Sendai. Sendai is located less than 2 hours from Tokyo by bullet train. To be eligible for this program, applicants must meet and maintain a cumulative 2.85 GPA and be an engineering or science major who has completed their foundation courses. Students need to have junior standing or above by departure. There is no language requirement, and language study is optional. Students participate in a research lab with Japanese and international students under the supervision of Tohoku University faculty, spending about 15 to 20 hours in the lab per week. During the spring semester, with approval from the lab supervisor, students may participate in intensive lab research for approximately 30 hours per week for twice the number of units. In addition to research, students enroll in 4 to 5 courses for a minimum of 21 units. The Engineering and Science program at Tohoku University offers science, engineering, and Japanese language and culture courses taught in English through the Junior Year Program in English, or JYPE. Courses taught in Japanese are open to UC students with advanced language skills. Students live in newly built on-campus dorms a short 5 to 10-minute walk from campus. Fanita, whose pictures are featured on the slide, was very involved during her spring semester at Tohoku. She joined cooking classes, a tea ceremony club, and participated in various volunteer activities. The top photo is from a trip with her lab mates who took her to Matsushima, a famous island in the area known for its beauty. The middle photo is from the day of students' final presentations, and the bottom shows her partaking in a Japanese tea ceremony in traditional dress. You can read more about Fanita's lab research experience and life in Sendai by visiting her personal blog at pitainjapan.wordpress.com. The next research program I will review is the STEM Research in Osaka program at Osaka University. Unlike the Engineering and Science program, this program is a full-time lab research program. That being said, students participating in the fall or spring program do have the option to take 1 or 2 courses in addition to the lab research. Some students choose to take a Japanese language course, for instance. Additional coursework is not available during the summer program. To be eligible for this program, applicants must meet and maintain a cumulative 3.0 GPA and have completed their foundation courses by departure. Like the Engineering and Science program, students need to have junior standing or above by departure. Graduate students are not eligible for the summer program. No previous Japanese language experience is required. A couple of notes about the program calendars. The summer program will start immediately after spring final exams. And the fall program runs from mid-September to early February, so you would miss both fall and winter quarters at UCSB. Summer students earn 12 units worth of research, and fall and spring students receive 21 units for their research. Students have the option to live in a dorm or apartment. Summer students also have the option to live with a homestay family, but placements are limited. The summer program is highly impacted. I only have 3 spaces for summer 2021. I do not have a limited number of spaces for fall or spring. Even if nominated at the campus level, final admittance rests with the host university. Sin participated in the STEM Research in Osaka spring program and had this to say: "It's one thing to read textbooks and take quizzes. It's quite another to design a research project, operate an electron microscope, interpret data, and present your findings to a panel of engineers and scientists. And that is what this program is all about." You can read about Earth Science major Noah's experience on this program on our UCSB EAP blog. Like Sin, he participated in the spring semester program. The last research program in Japan is the STEM Research in Tokyo program at the University of Tokyo. Like Osaka, this program is a full-time lab research program. To be eligible for this program, applicants must meet and maintain a cumulative 3.3 GPA requirement and have completed their foundation courses by departure. The program is open to juniors and seniors, and no Japanese language background is necessary. The program typically starts in early July, but it may be shifted to begin in mid-June and end in late July due to the upcoming Olympics. If the program begins in mid-June, it would be right after spring finals. Students on this program pursue research in biology, chemistry, computer science, earth sciences, engineering, mathematics, or physics for 7.5 units. Students apply to the summer science or summer engineering track. Students live in apartments with an approximately 40-minute commute. This program is highly impacted. I only have one spot for science and one spot for engineering. Even if nominated at the campus level, there have been past students rejected by the University of Tokyo. Summer acceptance rates are much higher for our summer research programs in Hong Kong and Taiwan, in which I don't have a limited number of spaces. I haven't had any students rejected in the past on those programs, and they often get into their first choice lab. Let's hear from Mitchell about his experience on this program.
My name is Mitchell. I'm a fourth-year biology major, and I studied abroad at a summer research internship at University of Tokyo. So at this research internship, I conducted full-time research for 6 weeks in the field of microfluidics. And essentially, microfluidics is the science of manipulating and controlling fluids on the microscale. I chose to research at University of Tokyo because I wanted to conduct research in something out of my field. I currently conduct university research in stem cell biology and some public health research, and I just wanted to try something completely different. Also, I was very interested in just studying abroad because it would be an entirely new experience that would introduce me to a new set of cultures and just an international experience, since research is an international effort. Research at UCSB is different in that research as a student is usually more long-term. So for example, students may be trained for a few months and put on a variety of different projects doing a variety of different things over the course of a year or years. In a study abroad experience, especially a summer study abroad research experience, there's a limited amount of time and your work is much more focused. So while I was only there for 6 weeks, I did a lot of work because I was a full-time researcher. You're not worrying about exams, you're not worrying about tests. You're just spending your entire time doing research, and a lot of it is more independent. They still give you guidance, but they kind of throw you in the deep end to figure things out for yourself because there's time to figure things out. And honestly, it's a faster way to learn. So even though I was only researching for 6 weeks, you can still make a lot of progress with your research projects, of course, depending on what type of project you're in. But for my experience, in the 6 weeks that I was working, because I was working so closely with the assistant professor on this experiment, he was able to get enough experimental data to the point now where we're working together on publishing a manuscript in a peer-reviewed journal. I would recommend students to study abroad in research because studying at an international university gives you unique perspectives of different mindsets contributing to the same goal. So, for example, we had different exchange students from Egypt, from Russia, from China, and they're all working on similar tasks. And you see that it's nice approaching research projects from different perspectives because there's no one correct way to approach the same goal. An unfamiliar setting, like in a study abroad setting, is a great way to familiarize yourself with a different perspective of just real world research, likely to what most students will be doing after college. There's more responsibility given to you as a full-time researcher because that will be your primary focus. Because I was studying at a research internship, I did not really have too many problems with language barriers since the primary language of research tends to be English. So everybody I interacted with, my research mentor, my assistant professor mentor, publishes in English peer-reviewed journals. So all of them have a good grasp of English and writing. So there usually was no language barrier issues. So even though we're in an intensive research program, they do give us a lot of recreational time. So we don't usually take work home with us. So we have our evenings, we have our weekends, in most cases, I think, or at least with most of the EAP students I was with. And on the weekends, for example, we can go to conventions, we go to shopping malls, shopping markets, we went to the beach, we also went to art and culture museums. There's no shortage of things to do, and it's great to always have kind of a weekend of experiencing something different.
Lastly, let's review the language programs offered in Japan. So first, we have the Japanese in Kyoto program at Doshisha University in the heart of downtown Kyoto, Japan's former capital city. Applicants must meet and maintain a cumulative 2.5 GPA to be eligible for this program. No prior Japanese language experience is necessary. Doshisha University Center for Japanese Language Study and Culture offers intensive Japanese language study at 9 levels from beginning to advanced. In addition to Japanese language, students develop a better understanding of Japanese culture through elective courses ranging from politics to religious studies. Those who demonstrate advanced Japanese language proficiency may take courses taught in Japanese in Doshisha undergraduate programs, in addition to their Japanese language courses. Students live in off-campus dorms. Commutes range from 5 to 30 minutes by public transportation. Let's hear from Benjamin, who studied abroad at Doshisha University.
Hi, my name is Benjamin Longala. I'm a global studies major, and I studied abroad at Doshisha University in Kyoto, Japan. Being a student in Japan is a really fun and enriching experience. You're always learning whether you're inside or outside of the classroom. 20% of students are exchange students, so you get to meet a lot of Japanese students and hear about their classes, and then also there are a lot of other foreign students, and you guys are taking similar classes together. It's a very enriching experience, and I definitely got a lot out of it. For housing, there were 2 options, an apartment, which is off campus, and then a dorm, which is also off campus. And for boys, there's only 1 dorm. For girls, there are 3 different dorms, and both boys and girls can live in the apartment. The Kansai region, where Doshisha University is, has so many distinct subcultures, but within such a close range. And so there's all sorts of different foods. You can really find something for everyone. A year ago, never would have thought that one of my favorite foods would be octopus, and it turns out now it is. Now, having lived in Kyoto and also being able to have seen Tokyo, I'm so glad that I chose Kyoto. It's the ancient capital of Japan. It has all sorts of beautiful scenery. The old imperial palace there is right in the middle of the city. But then also it has a downtown area. It has all sorts of entertainment. It has an active nightlife. And so it really has both. And it has like both nature and Japan's ancient history sort of tied in. It's one of the most beautiful places that I went to in Japan, and so I feel like if you want something different than the usual Japan experience, I would go to Kyoto because you can get sort of more in touch with Japan's roots while still having that sort of fun Japanese entertainment. Especially for people who are interested in the culture and the language, I would choose Doshisha University in Kyoto.
Also located in the Kansai region, we have the Japanese in Osaka program at Osaka University. Applicants must meet and maintain a cumulative 2.85 GPA to be eligible for this program. This beginning Japanese program does not have a language requirement. It does have a language requirement, excuse me. Students must have a minimum of 0 quarters and a maximum of 2 quarters or 1 semester of Japanese language. This program begins in mid-June, immediately after spring final exams. Students take 2 intensive Japanese language classes for a total of 12 units. Past students have been able to earn up to a year of Japanese in just a summer. The courses are divided into 2 4-week sessions. Students must pass the first half of the program in order to study in the second half. Students have the option to live in an apartment or with a homestay family. Homestay placements are limited. Apartments are typically a 10-minute walk from campus, and homestay residences can be as close as a 10-minute walk or as far as a 60-minute train ride. I have 8 spots for this impacted program. You can read about Vivian's experience on this program on our UCSB EAP blog. Our final language program is the Japanese in Tokyo program hosted at the International Christian University. Applicants must meet and maintain a cumulative 3.0 GPA to be eligible for this program. This program also has a language requirement, so applicants need a minimum of 2 quarters or 1 semester of Japanese language to be eligible. This program offers intensive Japanese language study at 8 levels from upper beginning through advanced. Students live in an on-campus dorm. This program is also impacted with only 3 spaces available. We recommend applying to as many study abroad scholarships as you're eligible for. There are UC EAP specific scholarships, UCSB EAP specific scholarships, and national scholarships. There are Japan and Asia specific scholarships too. One UCSB EAP specific scholarship is the Freeman Internship Scholarship. If you're interested in interning for academic credit on one of the eligible programs in Japan or Korea, you should definitely apply to this scholarship. I've included photos from past Freeman scholars on the slide. On the bottom left, that's Lincoln, who interned for an online denim retailer in Japan. The next photo over is from the Second Harvest Food Bank in Tokyo. The third photo from the left features Vivian, who interned with a financial technology startup in Korea. She studied abroad for the entire year, but focused on improving her Korean language skills in fall before securing her internship in the spring. The bottom right photo is of an article Michelle wrote for SoulSync, a startup media publication company.
The hope of the Freeman Internship Scholarship recipient. Let's hear about her internship experience in Japan. Hope? Hi, so again, I just sing Japan's praises all darn day. I love this internship. I found it through UC EAP. There was a website and there was like a little list of internships that students had previously done. And so I picked this one because I was interested in language education. And I wanted an internship that was close to my campus, so I had to commute very far. And also it seemed like the most flexible one because I wanted something that wouldn't be too demanding, something kind of like a part-time job, so not too intensive. I picked this one and I loved it. It was a Global Trophy is a nonprofit, and it's and I'm really sad because I was supposed to help, because Trophy is where the Olympic Stadium is in Japan, and I was supposed to help with training volunteers for the Olympics, and then COVID happened. But anyways, so basically this nonprofit, they basically serve students and also the elderly, and just anyone that's interested in learning and practicing English, or just anyone that's interested in just joining like a weekly group discussion on various topics. For me, what I did was I was a tutor, an English tutor, to some students who wanted help with the ACAN, which is a Japanese English proficiency test. And I was just helping them with their homework, and they had questions. I gave them little lessons, I learned how to do lesson planning in Japan because I took a class on it. So this really worked out. Also, there's an amazing population of the nicest elderly people in the world in Japan, in Shofu. And they're all basically like my grandmother, my grandfather. Like, they're all just so nice to you. And they helped me out so much. They gave me so much advice. They're so adorable because they do so many cool things in their free time. They volunteer, they travel. And they're part of this little English cafe, which is like every week. They just come together and talk in English about their life. And I was a part of that. My mentor, my sensei was Murakami Sensei. She was actually a professor at ICU for a while. She studied journalism, and she's just so knowledgeable. And so it was just a wonderful experience. It was also really, really manageable because it was pretty casual. I'd say it was on the lighter end of the workload spectrum for internships. And everyone was so flexible. So it wasn't something like really rigid, like really strict deadlines, anything like that. So that's why I loved it so much. And again, the 3-month internship also came with a scholarship. So that helped me save money and survive. And I was so grateful for it. And I highly recommend everybody to apply for as many scholarships as you can. Because you never know, like, because for me, I applied to like 15 and I got 2. So it's totally possible. Like, you can do it. It might seem really daunting and scary and hard, but I guarantee it's possible. So yeah. Thank you, Ho.
This concludes the presentation.